Okay, Annex team, here is our 3 new Annex displays set up in the Annex. As you can see, we have the latches that are tied down, and each one has equipment that belongs inside of each case. So this here's Joe, and he's going to just kind of briefly explain what you do at breakdown time.
Alright, when it comes to teardown, the opposite of your setup, we're going to go ahead and release the audio cables. Nicely labeled. You have audio in and out from each of the cases, so we get the feed on the first case from the room inside, actually from the mixer inside. We go into this case, out of this case, from this case to the next one, in, and then out of that one to the third case. So it's one little string of cables. We're going to go ahead and pull these guys out, let those go down the floor. We'll wrap those up, store those inside of the case. Same thing with the video. The 2 side videos have a little distribution box that splits the signal coming from inside out from the computer to feed the 2 sides. And then the camera has its own feed that feeds the center camera, the center TV. All 3 TVs are wired the same, so they're interchangeable cases. It really depends on what you plug into them as to what they're going to show. But the VGA in, just like you guys have been using VGA, that's going to feed the VGA in on the PC input for the TV, whichever ones you plug in. And then the component input at the top, labeled video in at the top, is going to be the component input on the TV, and that's what we're going to feed the camera into. All the cables are going to break down and store inside of totes inside of these cases. When it comes to use, we're going to fold the top door down. It lifts off the front of the case, and we're going to store it behind the cases. And then we're going to fold down the speaker door that during teardown, we're going to fold back up and secure the latches. Each of these 3 cases, because they're longer, have their own cases for the top, vinyl cases for rain. So when it comes to the rainy time, we're going to make sure we put those on whenever we're moving them around. In the dry season, we're going to go ahead and store those in the bottom of these cases so that we don't lose them.
And then could you just show us how these latches work that you guys made for us to tie them down for security?
Your latches are attached D-rings for the side of these guys. These will stay on the case the whole time. The idea is that your tie-down point is going to be ahead of both of these cases so that you're pulling forward on the case. So as the wind or anything else, if gravity comes through, it's going to pull backwards on the case and not tip. So it'll be ahead of it, and that'll give us a real secure tie-down. So we have 1 stake in front between each of the 2 cases, then 1 more on the outsides, and we're using the front D-rings currently. We have a second set of D-rings at the back if you get into a situation where you put them on top of staging or something else that you can tie down in both directions, past the front and the back of the case, so that it stays very stable and doesn't shift. Those straps also store inside of each of the cases, so each case has 4 straps and 4 tie-downs on the outside.
Great! Thanks, Joe. Have a safe trip back.